So what is there? There's MyBuilder, Checkatrade, MyWorkman, My Local Tradesman, all these websites that are guaranteed to get you work. And I get it, work might have dried up a little bit, or you just want to get more customers into your business. It's a situation tradesmen get into from time to time. You could just start posting leaflets through people's doors, get 1,000 of them printed out and walk around in the evenings with your kids maybe, posting leaflets through people's doors in your local area. That's a bit of the old-fashioned way. Or you could do a few posts on social media saying, yep, I'm open for new leads or new customers to do work for my electrical business, and see what happens there. But with all these ideas, you do also do a Google search. How do I get more customers? And what comes up? All these websites. And they all say the same thing, that if you create a profile, you'll have customers on tap forever. You'll be busier than anything. You'll have local work in your area for what type of work you do, whether you're an electrician, a builder, a plumber, or carpentry, anything. They sort of promise you the world. So are they any good to actually get any work? So let's dig into it and find out. Toolbox Talks for Electricians, helping electricians reduce stress, gain back time, and earn more money. Hello and welcome back once again to Toolbox Talks for Electricians. I'm your host, Ben Poulter, and today's podcast is going to be about these websites like MyBuilder, Checkatrade, MyWorkman. There's so many of them, to see if they actually work to try and build your business up, or maybe get customers for your business, or even get work sort of thing so you can get paid. And on the other end of the spectrum, do they actually help your business get bigger and better, or do they damage it in a way? Fill your customers with local jobs, just right for your business. Plenty of local work. Set your local work area and get plenty of leads within the area in which you work in. Plenty of local work. Set your custom area for the exact work and the area that you want to work in. We'll introduce you to millions of customers and homeowners looking for tradesmen just like you to work in your area. Every single one of these websites, they've got like a slogan or a catchphrase that'll get you to sign up, which would be fantastic if you actually got constant work from that website and it was worth doing and it helped build your business possibly. In this podcast, I'm going to detail you my experiences of these websites. And obviously everyone has different experiences. Every tradesman's different. We know that. And some tradesmen have a great experience. And some tradesmen, they don't have that much of a good experience with all these websites. They sign up to them and they pay sort of, I don't know, sometimes it costs maybe £1,000 or sometimes £3,000 I've heard of signing up to these websites to be able to get plenty of work. And then they don't get any. Or you're in competition and you're one of these people that are basically the race to the bottom. I did sign up to them years ago when I first started out, so it may have changed a little bit. It was probably 10, 15 years ago when I signed up. So it might have changed a little bit now, but from the comments that I see online, it hasn't changed that much. The first website that I signed up to, that I came across sort of thing that caught my eye, was MyWorkman. And looking back on my profile, I did 3 jobs for them, which, I don't know, I'll give it a go, I think. And 3 jobs, that was enough for me. Because on MyWorkman, you have to sort of buy the leads. You buy the customer's details. They post a job to say, right, I need a light fitting or 6 downlights in my kitchen. They post a job. You have to give them a rough idea to maybe hopefully get them to shortlist you for the quote, to be able to go actually visit the property to give them a proper quote. But you've got to give them a rough idea how much it'll cost. Because every customer, I think, they're going to be more appealing to the price. If, say, you're a customer that comes along, say, yes, I can do this for £200, then they're going to think, right, I'm going to compare it with the other electricians that have gave me a quote. Say someone comes along and says, yeah, I'll do it for £100. You haven't got no chance. There's no point in you doing 6 downlights for £100 and you're not going to get the job. Because the details of what the customers put on the website is, yep, I want 6 downlights and a switch moved in my kitchen. Well, that's in detail. That's exactly what you want doing. But how you're going to do it is different. There's so many different things what you got to look into. Maybe is that ceiling asbestos? Is the cabling good enough? And has it even got an earth? Or does that property have RCD protection in the fuse board? That's just 3 questions off the top of my head that the customer won't even think about. They won't even bother to look at. And as you know, this is something that you need to know to be able to certify the work, what you do in someone's property. But with so many people on the website and so many people saying, right, I'll do it for 100 quid, I'll do it for 200 quid. And someone might even say they'll do it for 50 quid. I haven't got a clue who, but a DIY guy could go on there and say, yeah, I could put your downlights in there for 50 quid. Well, that customer is going to look at 50 quid and think, how come that guy can do it for 50 quid and that guy would do it for 200 quid? They don't understand that maybe one guy that's just pressing the buttons on a keyboard is not going to be as good as the guy doing 200 quid that will make sure that that never catches fire. So the customers on the MyWorkman website, that's the experience I had. They sort of always go for the cheapest quote. And maybe they have a bad experience. You'll never know. This is the thing. And in my experience on MyWorkman, there are all sort of small jobs, like putting 6 downlights in. There was no really extensions or rewires, anything like that. They're all small jobs, so you struggle to make a bit of a profit, to be honest. And using MyWorkman, thinking back now, the type of customers that you get on there that want to pick the $50 DIY guy rather than a decent electrician that's insured and certified to do the job, they're not really the sort of customers that you want to come into your business. You want to be a long-lasting customer in your business. You don't want to have them, because if you do a £50 job for them, they're going to ring you up next time and say, right, can you put 6 more downlights in my bathroom? You did it £50 last time, so can you do it £50 again? You don't want to get them sort of customers in your business. So that was my thinking. That's obviously why I only did 3 jobs. I did 3 jobs thinking that, yeah, it'll get better. You'll get better jobs. You'll get better customers. But it didn't happen. So, yeah, the 3 jobs was sort of, that was it. I knocked it off there. There was one job that I did with some downlights in there, someone's kitchen, just because I used that example, because that's exactly what I did, is I had to argue with the guy saying, look, man, I'm sorry, but you do need RCD protection on this circuit that I'm modifying because you haven't got it. And I had to argue with it to put it in. He understood that he needed it, but he didn't want to pay any more to put it in. So I come to an arrangement where I say, look, I need to put it in. If I'm going to get paid for the lighting work that I'm doing, I need to make it live and need to test it and get some decent test results and put an RCD in. So basically, I did it for cost. I did it for, I charged the materials for what I got from the wholesalers to put the RCD in it, the small RCD unit in, which I think looks terrible all the time. If you need to upgrade your board, you need to upgrade your board. You think about it, it's going to make it a lot better in the future and make that property worth more, to be honest. So yeah, I had to do it for sort of cost. So yeah, I didn't see myself earning much money going through MyWorkman. So it was back to the drawing board I went, and back to Google sort of thing. I'd Google it on there. And what was the next one that come up? MyBuilder. And yes, I looked into them, and being young, maybe a naive, I got sucked straight in once again. And at this time, I thought I'd do something a little bit different. I'd try and widen my search area, because I didn't want to just do local jobs in the local area. I thought if I broaden my horizon in a way to a wider area, then I'll probably be able to quote for bigger jobs and make a bit more profit. And on MyBuilder, you get an email, you get 2 or 3 a day sort of thing saying, right, there's this job that you can express interest in. And so you go on there, have a little look and think, right, yeah, I can express interest in that. So you click on express interest in doing the job. And then it's down to your portfolio, your profile, what you've created on MyBuilder for that customer to go and check you out and them to shortlist you to be able to do the job. They can shortlist up to 3 electricians or 3 tradesmen to do the job. And once you're shortlisted, that's when you get charged. And whilst I was checking out and doing some research for this podcast, looking at my old profile on MyBuilder, I only went and bleeding clicked, I'm interested in one job. I hope they don't go and click on me, because I don't want to do it and I don't want to get shortlisted. So the jobs that I was expressing interest in were sort of a 40-mile radius. So I thought, right, there'd be like kitchen rewires and even rewire of houses. Something a bit bigger and better jobs that will make it worth it to be able to pay that fee of maybe £5 or £15. I can't even remember what it was, but you have to pay a fee of being shortlisted. And my plan was, because obviously if you build a decent portfolio on any website, you're going to get more interaction. People are going to see your profile and think, yeah, he's done plenty of jobs, they're better. So my plan was to get plenty of work out of MyBuilder and just do really good quotes, really like cut it right down thin so I can get the jobs, do the jobs, get paid. So it's not necessarily break even, but not make a massive amount of profit in these jobs. So that was my plan, to build the portfolio up on MyBuilder to get plenty of work. But the thing is, what I did remember that I did, every customer that I got, everyone that I did work for, I gathered their email, I collected their email. So basically then I had them as my customer. I was able to contact them outside of MyBuilder, and I was able to, they were able to contact me outside of MyBuilder as well, to be able to ring me up to say, look, I've got this other job I want doing, and you don't have to be tendered or in competition with all the race to the bottom on these MyBuilder websites. Because you don't have to ask for their email. So, excuse me, can I have your email so I can reach out to you in the future, or your phone number? Because you need these customers' details anyway, because you email them the test certificate, you register the Part P, and you register their address and their details with the Part P for their insurance. So you need these details anyway. It's not like you're going to the customer and saying, look, I'm going to poach sort of the customer from MyBuilder. That's what some people might look at it as, like, because I think they get some sort of insurance through MyBuilder, but with your Part P, the customer gets an insured job for 6 years anyway. And there is a few people that I've met on MyBuilder that I still do work for today. So that was one of the good things out of MyBuilder that I got. And I only did around 8 jobs on MyBuilder. Looking back at my profile from years ago, that there was 8 jobs that I actually did, completed, and got feedback. I only got feedback for 7. Don't know what happened to that 8th one, but I didn't really carry on with MyBuilder because all the actions that I took to build up work, I didn't need to sort of tender for work on MyBuilder anymore. And obviously I didn't want to travel as far anymore with the work I was doing on MyBuilder. And to be completely honest, I went into this podcast thinking, yeah, I'm going to slate these websites, and MyBuilder is rubbish, no good, it's pants, it's like idiots going to MyBuilder. But thinking back, with the experience that I had with MyBuilder and the work that I got out of it, it wasn't too bad. I didn't have that bad of jobs. It kept me busy, it kept me going, it kept me motivated. I just didn't need it anymore to use it. So for starting out, I think that MyBuilder wasn't a bad option. It wasn't a bad idea. I don't think it'll be one of the ideas where you're just going to use MyBuilder to get work continuously through your career or to be able to build your business with, but to keep yourself busy in them downtimes, and maybe where you've got 2 or 3 days spare, and you can jump on MyBuilder and get a few jobs just to keep you going in a way, just to keep you working, because I don't know, nobody likes sitting around. They get bored. I suppose there is some good things on Netflix that you could sit and watch every now and again. If you go through Game of Thrones again, that would be a good idea. But no, you don't want to sit around. You want to still earn money because you've got all these insurances. You pay a yearly rate for your Part P. You pay a yearly rate for your insurance on your van and things like that. So you want to keep working. You want to keep going. So it served its purpose for me back in the day. But I have heard a bit of a horror story about maybe MyBuilder, is where these people, they go on there and they get an email, and then they express interest in the job, and they get shortlisted. So they get charged the £4 or £5, whatever it is, to be shortlisted. And they contact the customer straight away saying, right, when's a good time to come around to have a look at the job you want doing and give you a more detailed quote. And the customer will come back to them and say, well, yeah, sorry, so I've already given the job away to somebody else. But hang about, you got in contact with that guy within seconds of being shortlisted. So whether these are sort of fake profiles set up to generate money for MyBuilder, which obviously I can see how it works, but I'm not 100% whether that happens. A lot of people do say it happens, but it never happened to me. And yeah, it's a bit cheeky if it does happen, I think. So if you're going to use MyBuilder to generate yourself some more work or some more customers, then make sure that you do it with a plan. Go into it thinking that you're not going to be using MyBuilder forever, and you're going to get the customer's details, because then that customer's yours. They're in your business. They'll always, if you meet them and you grow that know, like and trust factor sort of thing with the customer, you get to know them a little bit, they won't bother going onto MyBuilder. They'll just say, right, I got a Sparky. You must know that so many people, they say, right, yep, my electrician. Ben's my electrician. He does all my electrical work. And that's what they do. They don't look elsewhere because they trust you and they get on well with you. Over the years, you get a good sort of relationship with customers, and they'll call you for everything without having to go to the Yellow Pages or MyBuilder to find an electrician, because it can be a bit of a chore sometimes. You've got to meet someone new and might get some cowboy trader turn up that you wouldn't want to trust in your house. So these people, when they know you and they like you, they're going to call you. So now moving on to Checkatrade. you can't go on to talking about websites unless you talk about Checkatrade, because they're everywhere. I can get well. I'll give them that. Their marketing is fantastic. They're mostly at every electrical event I go to. They're on the news adverts on the TV saying, right, if you want to get a local trader, certified trader, contact us. So yeah, they have got plenty of people and plenty of customers on that website, I think. And then when tradesmen are looking for more work, they've got plenty of tradesmen on the website as well. And this is why I think Checkatrade is one of the worst websites for the race to the bottom. And with MyWorkman and MyBuilder, they do ask for your sort of credentials, your qualifications, to check that you're Part P registered, to maybe check that you're actually a qualified electrician. With Checkatrade, I'm not 100% sure or confident that they actually check any tradesman qualifications. I do think that I could go on there and say, yeah, I'm a plumber. I'll do some gas work. I'll replace your hob. I'll replace your boiler. And they're going to go, nice one. Okay, no worries. We'll send you the leads, without having to think, right, okay, what about, is this guy insured? Is this guy competent to do the job? Is he registered to do the job? I don't think they actually bother doing that. And with being so popular, I suppose, with Checkatrade, there is a lot more horror stories out there with Checkatrade where maybe they've ripped a customer off. I do hear from tradesmen saying, yeah, I signed up to Checkatrade, never got one job out of it. Give them £1,000, didn't even get one job. Tendered for a few jobs, and obviously they were too expensive, so didn't get any jobs out of it. And then from the customer's point of view, I say, right, who did your driveway? Who did your wall, mate? It's freaking wonky. Yeah, I got that guy off Checkatrade. And some of these, there's a lot of cowboys on there, I think. And I do see so many beat up vans that I think have just been pulled out of the bin or the skip with a Checkatrade sticker on there, thinking, yep, I'm registered with Checkatrade. I can do any work. And they do go around and do plenty of work. I don't know how much for, but I think Checkatrade have got a lot of cowboys on there, which give the decent tradesmen on there a bad name. And this is the thing. There is so many probably decent tradesmen on Checkatrade that actually legitimately want to go out and do a good job and use it to build their business. But with all the rubbish ones on there, it's sort of a race to the bottom. Again, you have to sort of opt in to quote for a job. And if you go along and say, right, yep, that's £500 for that job, I think that's a good price or a good competitive quote to get in for that job. There was some guy that comes along and says, yeah, I'll do it for 250. You don't even understand why. Some people, like, they can just do jobs for 250 quid. But hang about, I was going to spend that on materials for the job. So how the hell they can do it for 250 quid, I ain't got a clue. So this is why I think that Checkatrade, I'll say it again, I'll say it 1,000 times, Checkatrade is a bit of a race to the bottom. I think, yeah, there's great workmen on there, but they struggle to get work because they'll always be beaten by somebody else that doesn't necessarily give too much of a monkeys. Again, you could possibly use Checkatrade for a few jobs, but don't count on it to build your business, because there is customers on there that are quite clever that will say, right, can I see your qualifications? Because they don't want to get some cowboy in their house that's going to ruin their house. They might have nice houses, or it might be a big job where they possibly want to find someone just to come and replace a few lights because they've got another house that will need a rewire. I've heard of that before as well. People just check out the tradesman. They need to find a decent tradesman, so they'll post a small job on there, get to meet that tradesman, and then say, right, fantastic, you did a great job. Can you quote for this one, please? So again, it can be a good way to get leads into your business or customers into your business in the long run. And like I said earlier on, I was going to start this podcast by saying, yeah, these websites, they're rubbish. Waste of time. Don't even bother putting your name into the profile. But I think through my research and talking about it out loud, they're not that bad. Because it's better than sitting around doing nothing. It's better than posting leaflets for your people in your local area. Because I've done leafleting back in the day. That was rubbish. It didn't get me one job. I paid, I don't know how much it was, a couple of £100 for 1,000 leaflets, posting them for everyone's door. Complete waste of time. It was no good sort of thing, posting leaflets. In my opinion, now you can use these websites, but use them with sort of a plan, what you're going to do to maybe pull customers out, to use customers to build your business in the long run. And don't have high expectations of, yeah, I want to get all these jobs, all these fancy jobs and fantastic jobs, because I don't think there's a lot of them on there. But I do think these websites will help you in a small way. It'll help you build your business and get more customers Very slowly maybe, but it still does a trick. It does work to get more customers over time. In an ideal world, yeah, you don't want to have to rely on these websites to actually get any work. Maybe if you register with them all, you're going to spend a lot of your time going onto maybe your phone on these websites, trying to get shortlisted for the jobs. So yeah, it's probably not a good idea to register for them all to actually build your business. Maybe if you're starting up from the beginning, it'll be a good idea to give them a go, but don't rely on them too much. Or even if you're an employed electrician or employed somewhere else, tradesman, plumber, whatever. But if you're employed, it might be good to get a bit of extra work on the side, because there is people on there as well with Checkatrade, and I'm not sure about MyBuilder, but maybe want garden clearances and stuff like that. You can get some crazy different jobs on there. People post anything on there, and if you're prepared to do it, then you can bid for the job. So the best thing about these websites, MyBuilder, Checkatrade, MyWorkman, there's so many different ones on there, My Local Tradesman, I think, as well. There's plenty on there that if you do work for these, go in it with a plan and get the email and use that to keep in contact with your customers. Maybe like a newsletter or something like that, just to say some new technologies out, just to keep you at the front of their mind and fresh in their mind for when maybe in any conversation, maybe at work with their family or wherever they are, the electrician comes up into conversation. They think, yes, Ben, he's a good electrician. He did some work for me. I'll pass their number over. Because then the good customers that you have, they'll pass your number on to become good customers to your business too. And this is what I've done over time with emails. Just keeping in contact with customers, just a little email here and there to say, hey, you check out this Nest heating control. It's fantastic. You can control your heating, especially with the energy prices going up at the moment. You want to be able to save your heating as much as you can. What I like about the Nest heating controls is that they've got a GPS locator on them. So when you're not at home, because obviously people don't come home, leave their house at 8 o'clock, come home at 5 o'clock every day. Sometimes you might pop in the pub for a few hours, a few of us. And you don't want the heat to come on when you're not there. So then, because it's registered with your app on your phone, that'll sense you're not at home and not come on. So it's just these sort of emails of what I send out to my customers. So I've put 10 of those emails in a download. So check out the show notes below and have a little look and see if they'll be good for your business. What I would do with them is grab the 10 and just send out one a month. One email a month to your customers to let them know that you're still in business, to keep you fresh in the front of their mind, and see what happens. See if your work generates up. See if you keep in the front of their mind. See if they pass your number on to other people. Because at the end of the email, you can let them know that if you have any electrical needs, you're just a phone call away. So check them out, and I'll see you next time. Until then, bye-bye.